Welcome to episode 42 of the New England Gal Knits podcast. I am Janet, and you can find me on Instagram at the New England Gal, and you can find my hand-dyed yarn and project bags at Woolen Lights on Etsy, and I'll leave the links down below. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again, and if you're a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. So I have to admit, I did not get as much accomplished these past 2 weeks as I was hoping to. A lot's been going on, and I'll kind of get into that towards the end of the video when I kind of just talk about everyday life. But I did get one object finished, which is exciting, and it'll be going into a bath as soon as this podcast is over. But actually, before I get into my finished object, let me, before I forget, talk about the sweater I am wearing. So I am wearing, this is the No Frills by Petite Knits, and it is a knit out of Hey Sister Yarn Company, their 80/20 base and their Mohair silk base in the shell colorway. Unfortunately, I don't think they're dyeing anymore, which is a shame. It is, the yarn is beautiful. Let me stand up here. I'm wearing my leggings again, but I did not alternate skeins at all. I know you're supposed to, but I never do. I don't gauge swatch. I don't alternate skeins. Anyways, however, the sweater came out perfectly. I did knit it in a larger gauge than what the pattern called for. I wanted it kind of oversized, almost like sweatshirt type of style, and it is exactly the fit I was looking for, and I would like to knit a second one because it is so perfect. And then also, can we just take a moment to look at this beautiful, I just got this in, it is a blue velvet desk chair, and it goes with, it's kind of dark in the background, but my blue velvet pillows that are on my couch, so I'm treating myself to that, and it's on wheels, so you'll see me rolling around. Sorry. Anyways, so my one finished object, I did end up getting, this is a sweater number 9 by My Favorite Things in Knitwear, and I love this. It is a chunky turtleneck. I love, if you see me looking kind of over to the side, my eyes, I have a camera monitor now, so I can try and see and make sure things are in focus, because I noticed when I was showing things last time, the things were not focused properly. So hopefully I'll be able to see that. See Ryan peeking out over there? What's going on, Ryan? He came out and ran right back into his room. So anyways, finished this at 10 o'clock this morning. So I am, ends haven't been woven in, and it has not been blocked. So as soon as I am done podcasting, I am going to go ahead and get this blocked, and then weave in the ends. So this is a knit out of Knitting for Olive. So it's held double, so it's the, oh, that's gonna completely blow out. So it's the heavy merino, and this is all I have left of it. Did anyone watch him crawling on the wall, hoping he wouldn't be noticed in the bright red? So this is all I have left. This is the Dusty Moose colorway. And then I have about 12 grams left of the silk mohair, and this is the slate gray color. So I held that double. And I have been loving worsted weight and bulkier sweaters, oversized sweaters. I think because I'm not going out anywhere, I'm not working, I'm just looking for comfort. What can I easily put on with a pair of leggings and be warm and comfortable? And this certainly fits that bill. And I can't wait to get it blocked, and hopefully next time you guys see me, I will be wearing this. So that is my one lonely finished object. So I do have a half finished object. So I had showed the last podcast these worsted weight socks that I am been working on. So these are being knit out of Peace Fleece. It's all blowing out there. There we go. Peace Fleece in the rabbit gray colorway. And this is just a pair of just worsted weight socks. And what I did was 2x2 ribbing on a US 5. Then I switched to a US 6 for the legs, did 40 rounds, did a drop heel and gusset, and then knit the foot and the toe. So I have this one done, and I have, here's what I have with the second sock. So I have the leg done. I am working on the heel flap. So I am working on the heel flap on straight needles because I can't find any of my larger circular needles in a size 6. And on top of that, I used a size 7 for the toe to do the toe in a magic loop. I don't think you can really tell the gauge difference. And like I've previously said, I wear these around the house as slippers. Nobody's coming over these days. And on top of that, my husband and kids, they're not going to notice. And I don't think anyone's going to look that closely at my feet. So here it is. So I am hoping to maybe plug away on this this weekend and have this finished this week. I got sidetracked because with cast-ons, I wasn't feeling well on Monday, and I had come to the point where I needed to do the heel flap and heel turn on this sock, and I really wasn't feeling well, and my mind wasn't in it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna cast on another pair of worsted weight socks. And I saw this pattern by Ozetta, I think is how you say the brand. They do, Haley, and I don't think I have her last name in front of me, does designs as well as has her own yarn shop. So these socks, you know what, I apologize, everything gets blown out. I'm gonna, hopefully you can see that better now. Maybe there. So, saw these socks, and I'm like, let me go through my stash, pull out a pair of worsted weight yarn, and get knitting on them. Because I can think one by one, and the ribbing of the legs. So, this is what I have so far, and so I have the leg. I was able to do the heel flap, and actually I'm done with the gusset as well, so I just need to knit on the foot of this. This is the first sock, and now I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed, I would say it took me a while. I think I was a good ways down on the leg, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, as I'm sick and not quite with the program, these are really dense worsted weight socks. Now they're being knit on a 5, but I'm feeling it compared to this sock, and I'm like, these are really dense. I'm wondering why this worsted weight yarn is so much thicker than the Peace Fleece. Is this gonna focus? I don't know how well that focuses. And it's not worsted. It's bulky weight yarn. It's Valley Yarn Berkshire bulky. Hence why it's feeling a lot denser and thicker than the Peace Fleece worsted. I did try it on because I was afraid with it being so thick and dense that it was going to be too tight or hard to get on my foot. It's not. It fits perfectly. I can slide it on. I think, thank God for the ribbing. If it wasn't ribbed, I probably would have had a problem. My one thing I am having difficulty with is I am knitting it on a 9-inch circular needle, and with it being bulky weight and being so thick that it does, after a while, my hands do get sore. But they're going to be super soft, and I don't think it'll stop me from finishing these. And this was one day's worth of work, so I think I did a pretty good job in one day. So that is it for my socks. So the last thing was I cast off a sweater, and rather than picking up any of my previous sweater works in progresses, I decided to cast on something new. So I was on Instagram last week at some point, and I saw this beautiful sweater. This is the Lodge sweater, again, by Ozetta. It is everything I have been loving in a sweater. It is a worsted weight sweater with a turtleneck, with a really long, loose-fitting sleeves with, I don't know if you can see, the sleeves are super long and cuffed. It's got a split hem over here. It is just everything I want in a sweater these days. So I saw it on Instagram, and like I said with the socks with Ozetta, she's not only a designer, she has her own wool. So of course I had to go and buy the wool for this project. You can kind of see her logo on there. So I purchased her, this is her 100% Columbia wool, and it is a brown and cream marl. And it's funny because I don't normally gravitate to brown, but you know what? I have a great pair of boots, and I figure with a pair of jeans and boots, these will be, oh, it'll look great. So, however, I somehow, I just can't do math. I've ordered an extra skein, but I'm into worsted weight socks lately, so I'll have a pair of matching worsted weight socks to go with my sweater. So I did just cast it on yesterday, so I have not gotten very far because I did want to get the number 9 sweater done for this podcast. And I just cast on a new sweater yesterday. I needed to get something off the needles. So this is what I have so far. I haven't gotten too much done. I'm working on it. It's knit from the bottom up. So I'm working on the bottom ribbing. It's a drop sleeve, and I think I mentioned in my last podcast the Weekender has drop sleeve, and I love the fit of the drop sleeve. The sweater, like I said, it's everything right now I'm loving in a sweater. Turtleneck, drop sleeves, long, loose-fitting sleeves with big cuffs. Comes little Peanut. So, oh, there goes the other child into the kitchen. Teenage boy, as he can never keep my refrigerator full. So, that is it for all the knitting I have for this week. So if you're just here for the knitting and you don't want to see any of my cross stitch or kind of listen to what I have going on, I'll say goodbye to you here. And if you do, let me jump into the cross stitch. I see the one good thing about having the camera monitor now is my camera shuts off the video after 20 minutes, so I can see how much longer I have before it automatically shuts me off. So unlike last week where I rambled for an hour and realized I only had 20 minutes of what I was talking about and had to refilm, the other half I can kind of keep track of that. So let me reset the camera and I'll be back with my cross stitch. Alright, so I'm all set. I have my cross stitch in front of me. I'm not a proficient cross stitcher. I only started doing it a few years ago, and honestly I do 1 or 2 projects a year. This year I've done a little bit more. I find it a little bit relaxing when I'm really stressed out, and you know what, sometimes as much as I love knitting, I adore knitting, sometimes I just need a break from it, so I pick up cross stitching. So on Inauguration Day in the mail, so I belong to Color and Cotton, is a hand-dyed thread company. So I got these beautiful threads in the mail on Inauguration Day, and as soon as I pulled them out, I knew I wanted to do a project right away with them. So kind of went online, went searching for the right project, and I thought, what better than on Inauguration Day and New Beginnings to cross stitch this Hope pattern. And this is by Hello by Liz Matthews is the designer. Now it is meant to be stitched in all one color. I had 3 colors, so I ended up doing, here's what I have so far. See, again, not a professional cross stitcher. I would have, if I was a floss tuber, I would have had this ironed for you. And it's really getting, I'm playing because I have some new lighting here. Let's see, can you see it better there? Maybe that's a better accurate description. So I did the hope in this. It says it's caramel brownie. Yeah, I wish the lighting was a little bit better in here, but it almost has, it's definitely brown, but it almost has a plum undertone to it. So I did the hope in that, and then these little cross stitches on the side. There's going to be a little bit more cross stitching. Then the green for the flower stem and the purple for the flower. So I'm almost done with the word and the border on the word, and then there's 2 more flowers to do as well. And this is being cross stitched on, it's Weeks Dye Works linen 30 count in the seafoam color. And I'm hoping it's not too blown out. It's a pretty light blue. So I only worked on this on Inauguration Day, so I'm thinking, and the mail didn't come until about 1 o'clock, so I feel like I got a good chunk done in one day. I would like to finish this. I'm kind of feeling the mood for cross stitching this weekend and just kind of sitting and relaxing and stitching on that. So I may pick this up and try and finish it this weekend. And then the other one that I started, it's on yellow paper, so I didn't have any plain paper, but this is, I'm trying to get it so it's not, Pretty Little Paris by Satsuma Street. And this is typically not my go-to colors, but I don't know what it is. I was drawn to it. So, and it has Notre Dame Cathedral, the Eiffel Tower, Sacré-Cœur, Arc de Triomphe right there. Where is it? Moulin Rouge right here, and then the Louvre Pyramid also, and then a hot air balloon. So it's really just a small start, and again, not a professional floss tuber because they would have taken it out of their Q-snap, but I have, this is just the start of the one of the towers of Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Say it in my French accent. My French grandparents would be so sad saying that with an American accent. So that is what I have started. Again, the color palette is not something, I am knitting it with all of the called for colors. They're not something I would normally gravitate to, but I think I was just needing something bright and cheerful. So I started that. That's it for the cross stitching. As far as what's going on, and I can hear the garage door opening and my husband's home. I was hoping to get this done before he got home because he doesn't like being on it, but I guess just real quickly with what's been going on the last few weeks. So like I said, I was not feeling well this past week. I had an allergic reaction to something. I blew up. I looked like Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I looked at myself Monday morning and I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror. I don't know what happened or what I did, but it was not a pretty picture. I ate nothing out of the ordinary. The only thing I can think of is I had to run to Target and Michael's that maybe I touched something, and I have no idea what I did. But I ended up on antihistamines and I'm fine now. And then my poor little puppy, Lego, has been in and out of the vet 3 times so far. So 2 weeks ago I noticed a lump on his cheek, and now we were told at his last physical that he had a crack in his tooth on that side and to keep an eye out for it. So we pretty much thought it was probably an abscess tooth. It was infected. It would need to come out. So we took him to the vet. They said, yep, that's what it is. They had a cancellation that following day for surgery, which was amazing. So we booked it. We got a call back within an hour. They had done a blood panel for the surgery and his platelet level was beyond low. So they wanted us to come back in for more blood work to make sure that it wasn't just a fluke or a false reading. So took him back in, got more blood work done. Platelets were low. So then we ended up having, they were afraid because he had been diagnosed previously with Lyme disease, they were afraid it could have been a blood clot. So, they wanted to do more tests, so we went back this past Monday. He was on some medication. They wanted to see how he reacted to that, so we had more blood work done Monday. Platelet count is so much better. He was diagnosed with Lyme disease 2 years ago, so the Lyme disease isn't dormant anymore, so he is going to be on some medication for that, but he can get surgery done. He's getting surgery done on Tuesday, so the tooth comes out, which is good news on Tuesday. So fingers crossed. I think anytime, human or animal, when they go under anesthesia, it makes me nervous. So fingers crossed, everything will be all right. So he's been, this past week, he's been doing much better than he was the week before when this all started. So that's good. Other than that, I mean, with COVID, we're still kind of locked down in the house. Both boys right now are in quarantine. They were possible contact, came into contact at school. One in the high school, one in the middle school. So we got a call from the nurse with contact tracing, and they're quarantining for 2 weeks. So literally, we're actually now at this point not doing anything and can't go anywhere. So nothing else really to report. So like I said, I'm going to, I think, try and work on my sock this weekend and get that done, and work on my little Hope cross stitch and get that done this weekend, and just kind of sit back, relax, watch a couple movies maybe. I haven't even been watching any TV. I've been so tired at night and stressed with everything with Lego, and then when I was sick, I mean, I couldn't even concentrate on anything, so never mind watching TV. So I'll figure out something, I guess, this weekend. If you guys have any suggestion for any shows you've been enjoying, let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for a good show to watch. So that is it for this week. I hope you guys all have a great couple weeks ahead. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy knitting. Bye.